We're glad you're with us. Our guest for this portion is Beth Rengel, an old friend and a former workmate. Beth, it's good to have you here.
Sam, always good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Really good.
I ran into your daughter the other day. Beautiful girl.
Thank you.
Beautiful girl.
I ran into your daughter too, and she's also beautiful.
Well, now that we got that out of the way.
I watch Neely.
So what's going on with you now?
Well, I'm still doing real estate. That's my day job, and have for 16 years. Work for McGraw. But I've also taken the journey, and it has been a long journey, to write a book. It is simply a memoir about behind-the-scenes news, about uplifting women and empowering women, because, you know, we're probably very similar. We got into the news business when...
I don't know. I don't wear those kind of dresses, but go ahead.
The book is called Anchored in Illusion.
Yeah, we got a shot of it here. This is the book. I don't know which camera. Anyway, go ahead.
And the title speaks for itself. It is, I'm standing there holding a microphone with one hand and the Miss Texas crown with the other hand, which is what my history has been, trying to be the perfect pageant queen or the perfect anchor, or perfect daughter, mother, wife. A very smooth road? It's been a hard road, and it's taken me many years to figure out that there is no such thing as perfection. You're never going to have the perfect body or have the perfect marriage or the perfect job. And so it dawned on me that men and women hide behind this facade of what we're supposed to be like according to other people. And if you really peel back the layers of who you are, and it's everything that money cannot buy, you know, and that's what we strive for, is where to live, the car, the clothes, then it's everything that you cannot buy is what brings you true.
You know, I recall back in the day when you and I worked together at Channel 2. And I remember, and I've told this story to so many people, it's very brief, your schedule was not an easy one. For any woman, it's never easy, which the industry itself is hard on women. But a single mother, working this kind of job, these kinds of hours, and yet, what I remember most about you is the kind of mother you were to Anna. And I was so impressed how you treated her, how you treated your time with her, and how you made that much more important than anything involving self. And it paid off. You have a lovely daughter.
We would bring our daughters to the TV station on Friday nights because they could sleep in late. And I mean, you were the same kind of father. We just had to cherish the time that we did have with them. And in this process, it's like my last divorce. I could have stayed married, but I did not want to show to my daughter that you stay in a marriage for all the wrong reasons. In spite of the money, in spite of whatever it is, I had to get out. And there is a chapter about domestic violence in there. There is a chapter about behind the scenes. You're in it.
Oh,
I know.
Do I get to sue?
No, you'll love it, because I just remember, you know, Sam was always pounding on typewriters with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and your coiffed hair, you know, and a smirk. And he always had jokes to tell or a smirk or something on his mind. And I'll never forget the very first time we went on the air, we were doing our, you know, shots, and you said,
I know what you're going to tell.
Said, Rengel, are you a screamer? And I thought, what the heck does that mean? And he meant, am I going to yell the news? And I thought, no, you know, I'm not, but it threw me for a loop. So you made it fun. You really did make it fun.
And you know, Jerry Weber, God rest his soul, told me, I apparently knew you before you came in. Our time together was the first time I ever met you, but you made a very smooth transition in.
I had just moved back from Atlanta and had a baby, and that's when Nancy Herr, who you worked with, was going back to California. And then Hebel, the general manager, called and said, would you consider going back to work? And I thought, I just had a baby. There's no way. I mean, I've waited all these years to be a mother. And he said, well, when would you consider it? And I said, in a year. And they waited for 11 months. And then that created the rest of the story, so to speak.
Ben was a gentle man and a gentleman.
Yes, indeed.
I miss him terribly. We don't have enough of his cut of the cloth in the industry anymore. Beth, what do you tell young women trying to gain a foothold in the industry?
First of all, I tell young women never look at the magazines like Cosmopolitan or Glamour. Those aren't not real people. They are airbrushed, and they're probably miserable anyway, because when you put that facade out there as your image, that's all it is an image, and it will go away. Women getting into this kind of business, I say your job is as secure as ratings, the news director, and research. And they can twist research to find a way to get rid of you. But if you get your foot in the door and you work as hard as you can, and you work those long hours, then and try to be your authentic self, who you are, then you will learn to love the business.
Let's go back a little bit. We've got about 2.5 minutes. What do you consider the standout story that you covered when you were working in the industry? Does any one story grab you?
When I interviewed Oprah.
Really?
That was a standout story. I was going through a personal trauma time again, and flew to Chicago, sat down, interviewed her, and I just noticed her. She walked in with this entourage. It looked like a V shape with her people behind her, and she's on the back. And we talked about her. I asked her, I said, are you happy? And she said, oh, Beth, that's an overrated word. Happy. What's happy? I never have to worry about money again. I can go down Michigan Avenue and buy anything I want. But what I really feel is when I go to my farm with my animals and I communicate with my God, then I feel joy. Happiness is overrated, but joy you can't buy.
The book is Anchored in Illusion, Beth Rengel. Where is it available?
On my website or in my guest room. So,
Oh,
you
hello.
just call me. No, I just got my first bunch of boxes of these books for $14.99 yesterday. So you're the first interview that I've done since I got the books
Well,
yesterday.
I'm honored to have
So
you
thank
here.
you.
Hey, thanks, kid.
Thank you,
Good to
Sam.
see you again.
Good to see you too.
Who wrote
Right.
this? Remember that? Remember that? Coming up, like every state, Oklahoma has an abundance of rocks. But, well, we got one expert standing by to fill us in on some of them when we come back.